Hey friends, I'm your Game Teach, and today I'm going to teach you to game Lanterns, the Harvest Festival by Foxtrot Games and Renegade Game Studios. In this version of Lanterns, 2 to 4 players take on the role of artisans, decorating the palace lake with floating lanterns for the upcoming Harvest Festival. Real cutthroat, serious stuff. Now, throughout the game, players obtain lantern cards and turn them in for dedication tokens, which each have an honor value. The player who earns the most honor points before the festival begins wins the game. Those who don't, better lake next time. Setup begins with seating arrangements. Make sure each player is sitting in one of the 4 sides of your game table. If you've got like a hexagonal table or another table, probably throw it away and get a square table. What are you doing? Place the starting lake tile in the center, face down, then flip it and orient it so the red lanterns are facing one player, with each other player facing a different side. Next, create the supply of lantern cards organized by color. Depending on the number of players in the game, create stacks of each color. 5 cards for 2 players, 7 cards in each stack for 3 players, and 8 cards for 4 players. Create a supply of lake tiles by first dealing 3 tiles to each player, and then adjust the amount in the draw pile depending on the number of players. So 22 tiles for 2 players, 27 tiles for 3 players, and 32 tiles for 4 players. Separate the dedication tokens by type according to the lantern symbols on the bottom. If you're playing with less than 4 players, remove tokens with 4 dots. If you're playing with only 2 players, remove the 3-dot tiles as well. Arrange each stack in descending order of value. Take the 3 generic dedication tokens and place them on the bottom of each deck. Finally, give each player 1 lantern card matching the color of lanterns oriented towards them on the starting lake tile. The lantern cards are always placed in front of players for all to see. The player who takes the red lantern card, the color of good fortune, takes the start player marker and will go first. Gameplay occurs in turns, beginning with the start player and proceeding clockwise. On their turn, the active player may perform the following actions: exchange a card, make a dedication, and place a lake tile. The first 2 steps, exchange and make a dedication, are both optional. Placing a lake tile is definitely mandatory. What kind of lake decorator are you if you don't put any lanterns in there, huh? That's why you gotta do it. First up, in the exchange a card step, the active player may spend 2 of their acquired favor tokens, more on those in a sec, and 1 of their lantern cards to immediately acquire a different lantern card of their choice from the supply. Spent tokens and cards are sent back to the supply. That's it! So easy. Next, in the make a dedication step, the active player may use a specific set of lantern cards in their personal area and exchange them for a token. Each stack has a different type of set: 4 of a kind, 3 pair, or 7 unique. After returning the lantern cards to the supply, they may then take the topmost tile from the corresponding stack and place it in front of them. At the end of the game, the player with the most honor from these tokens will be crowned the winner. Well, I don't know if you give a crown, but like the emperor likes you. One note, dedication tokens, unlike lantern cards, are not limited in their supply. If the bottom generic token is the only visible token in a pile, the players score 4 points for turning in that set, but leave the tile in the supply. Lastly, in the place a lake tile step, the active player must place 1 lake tile from their hand adjacent to 1 or more already placed tile on the board. They will then immediately gain 1 lantern card of the color oriented in their direction, plus a bonus lantern card if any lantern's color matches an adjacent tile's color. Additionally, if a platform is in the center of the placed tile, they gain 1 favor token. After they gain the lantern card or cards, each other player takes a lantern card matching the color of the lanterns oriented towards them on the just placed tile. Going clockwise, if any pile is empty, that player doesn't get a card. Turns continue until all the tiles have been placed, after which everyone gets 1 additional turn to exchange a card and make a dedication. Then the game is over. Score up those honor points and the player with the highest score is the winner, but of course everybody gets to go to the festival, so you all win. Tiebreakers, whoever has the most favor tokens, and additional tiebreaker, if needed, is whoever has the most remaining lantern cards. And that's it! Now you know how to play lanterns. You're welcome. A few tips and tricks. Be sure and optimize your lake tile placement by getting it to touch as many matching colors as possible. For example, the purples meet up here, but it's a much better option to get both a purple card and a white card, and another purple card because it's facing you. If you can get 3 lantern cards in a single turn, whew, doing it right. Also optimize not helping out your opponents as much as possible. You can do this by pointing a color at them that doesn't have any more of that color in the supply, or by not giving them, say, the 4th of a certain color, because then they can turn that in for points. You don't want to help them out. Also, keep an eye on what your opponent is about to turn in on the beginning of their next turn, because they may be going for the thing that you want, in which case you could pivot and try and go for a different dedication token. All right, class is dismissed. Thanks so much for watching this video, and be sure and like, share, and subscribe, and you can always support us on Patreon. Game you later.